I'm Zach.
Hi Zach, how are you?
Yeah, I co-manage a small organic farm up in Ronan. This year we were part of the Montana Department of Agriculture's hemp pilot program. Right now, to grow industrial hemp, you have to live in a state that has legalized hemp production. Montana did so in 2000. But up until last year, no one could grow hemp because the DEA would come and treat you like you were a marijuana farmer and put you in jail. So yeah, this year we got our permit to grow hemp, and we grew about an acre. I've been interested in growing hemp for a good 20 years, and finally got to grow it. I grew a dry land. It did really good without watering it once this year. I feel like I got a good yield. I will know my seed yield better next weekend when I'm finished cleaning my seed. Yeah, with hemp, you have the seed, which you can press for oil, and is also where the food comes from. If you take the shell off, you have the inner nut that is high in omega-3s and 6s, and it's pretty tasty. It's got a great nutty taste. Also, the green matter is where the CBD oil comes from. That's the medicinal product of hemp. CBD, they're doing all sorts of research, is good for topical muscle ailments. A lot of research is starting on ingesting it. CBD has those medicinal properties and is different from marijuana. It does not get you high. It doesn't mess with your head whatsoever. So you have a clear head. Marijuana is great, but when you get pretty fuzzy headed when you're taking that medicinally. CBD right now is also completely legal. There's some gray areas on that, but right now you can buy it pretty much anywhere. There are some regulations that are starting to sprout out that may be harder to do. Hemp. There's a 1938 article in Popular Science magazine that says there's 50,000 uses for hemp. I'm going to show you 2 of them. We will be taking the raw hemp fiber stalk and turning it into a usable fiber and making either a thicker cord or smaller thread. And then also, once we get enough material, I'm going to be using you guys to help me. This is the inner woody part, the herd of the stalk that we will be removing from the fiber. And this inner woody herd is what we will do a small batch of Hempcrete with. So yeah, this is a hands-on workshop. Everyone who would like to is going to get as much hemp as they can process, and we're going to turn it into whatever size twine or string that you would like. This is a sketching knife I made. You have some smaller ones. You drape it over here, have your hand behind here, protects it, and then you wail on it. And this part is getting the herds off of it. It's breaking it up and starting to separate the fibers. And yeah, the goal is to try to get as much as, these thicker woody pieces off of it. And you try to get most of it off and shake some off. Then you come over to the halfway. And you whip them. And you whip them good. I wish I had the Devo song I could play for everybody.
Definitely make that happen.
And yeah, I found that I made 2 different varieties. find they do about the same job. You do that. If it gets caught on it, so this is kind of like, you know, when you brush long hair, you start at the tips and then you work your way in. And if it gets tangled, you just want to lift it up and kind of start over. Then turn it around and continue whipping. So now here we have a usable fiber. You could make...
Is that waste then?
No. You can use this for other things. You could clean this up. You could put this through a drum carder, which is for wool production. That would kind of clean it up. And you can, you know, make products, you know, spin this as a yarn or twine out of this. But yeah, this is easier. This might clump on you a little bit more, but yeah, this is totally usable. You could also use it for animal bedding. I've got my chicken nests made out of this, and yeah, there is no waste. Usually, I would use a wool carder. They're more heavy duty, but they're super expensive. So I got these little pet slicker brushes, and you put it there, and you just draw it across, combing it. Putting your thumb here, kind of keeping pressure on it, and yeah, just combing it and combing it, and yeah, you can stop at any point, or you can keep going, and in any of these processes, and it would get cleaner or get more refined. But yeah, doing this a whole bunch of times would get you this really nice hair-like fiber, and then yeah, you can come around and yeah, there's still a little bit of the woody core you can pick off if the comb isn't getting it off.
Are you able to sell this product in a small batch or anything? Or how do you,
I'm selling some to a neighbor who is going to make a wool hemp blend and knit with it. So yes, you can, the arts and crafts world, people who want to try their own hand spinning, this is the product that you would sell them.
How many acres are you growing?
I grew 1 acre this year.
Okay, 1 acre.
And you did not water it.
I did not water it.
Wow.
Any pesticide usage?
Absolutely not. I'm an organic farm. You don't need to, even if you're a conventional farmer. Conventional farms in Canada that have into hemp as a rotation, and they don't need to. It outcompetes weeds and then blocks them out. And I haven't come across anyone who's had any sort of bug pest problem.
Have you seen anyone using hemp as like a feed source for livestock?
So when you press it for oil, you have the cake. That is supposedly really good. Under Montana law, you cannot sell that, and yeah, sell it as a feed. You could use it as feed, maybe not advertise it as a feed, but that is like one of the only things on the list of unapproved products that you cannot have it for.
You can just grow it in your pasture. You can just grow it in like a polyculture like pasture and have your livestock graze it.
Yeah, I wouldn't though. I mean,
No.
yeah. I personally feel like it's too valuable of a crop to.
Totally. Yeah, if you go through this whole process, but if you're raising livestock and just want to add another.
I mean, yeah, if you throw it in
tenacious
there
annual.
with your cover crop mix. I was going to do that this year, but I.
Oh, okay. But there's no regulation on that. It's just on the process.
Yeah, process selling the feed. Start doing this, get some people, and then I'll show you guys how to use the drop spinner to make the cord. So, we'll have a lot of people.
There we go.
then I have lime. This will be dry tomorrow.
This is really cool. It feels like hair.
It takes a lot. And not everybody the smallest ones were about 6 feet. Yeah, 2 to 6 feet. You know, there was like clumps where, you know, a bunch of seeds were together and those were smaller. But even like a little bud, yeah, I thought I had it. I was doing it. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then
I'm not gonna have much left.
need to move that.
Yeah, that happens.
Not yet, no.
You got plenty of like retirement stuff.
Or as thin as one. And you're going to tie it down here, and then you're going to twist it around. And I'll be right back.
Like wind it around this. I don't know what I'm doing.
So yeah. Go a little quicker.
Okay.
And so you're just drawing it out a little bit here.
Okay.
The hardest part is the start.
So is that once you started, you wrap this?
Yes, and once it gets going, you use that as like your spool. So yeah, a lot of people when they're sitting down put this end in their back pocket.
Okay.
So it's up a little higher.
Okay.
So you can, it has the drop. And you kind of like have your arm around it. You're going to tie this end and then wrap it around and tie it up top.
Tie it in a knot?
Tie it. Yeah, tie this end as a knot, and then wrap it around, and then tie it up here.
Twist it like a candy cane?
Yep, and then tight, but tight enough where it stays there, but not too tight, because you're going to be pulling these threads out.
Okay.
So now, tie this end down here in the bottom, and wrap it up, and wrap it through here, and I'll be right back. Yeah, just like actually put that like in your back pocket. So the
Kind of.
Zach, you teach it. If you want.
Start. We're getting
And then he said, wrap it.
So you spiral that actual
I kind of like, he said if you have more, you want to try and spread it thin over the, so that it's all kind of flattened out around. then I think
So now you're going to hold it. So it's really easy to, if it falls apart,
Sure.
to rejoin it.
Yeah, it's expensive, but then you're selling it.
just kind of move it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to hold it and make your way up the fiber while it's
With your
spinning.
fingers.
Yeah, and then when you're getting up here, you want to pull some more out. And then keep doing it. And yeah, you want to hold on to this tight enough where it's not binding all this stuff up. So yeah, keep this finger tight, and then when you're ready to do more, pull some down. Sometimes you have to kind of.
So how do you get this started?
It's happening.
It's working.
No. Grandma and grandpa. Yeah.
So you have it started.
Yeah, I can only come today.
You're gonna start quick. And you're going to hold on up here
Okay.
and bring your finger up, and then up here you're going to want more fiber to come out.
You pull it down.
So you pull it down, and then pull it down,
Okay.
and incorporate more if it's getting too thin, or if it breaks, you just kind of put a bunch of it together,
Okay.
and then spin it. Always go in the same spinning direction. And you can
Really
kinda-
hard to keep the thickness consistent. I want the brush.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then up here you
So once it gets
pull it down. Always keep your finger
Yeah, so like this is what I have finished.
tight where you want it to spin. If it goes up here, then it knocks up with it.
Okay.
And then like this, you want to.
Yeah, this is what
So that's about to fall.
No, we
Just
worked
put that together.
Okay.
Yeah, just made hempcrete.
And then what do you do when it gets so long that it touches the ground?
Then you wrap it around this. You undo this, wrap it around it, and then
Oh, okay.
wrap the hook back around.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yes.
And then put your arm around. Just right.
Right, if you're interested in Hempcrete, come gather around the table. So the ratio for Hempcrete is 4 parts the inner woody herd of the hemp. So I have 4 coffee cans full in here, and then 1 part each lime. This is a lime that you can get. I got this. You can get it at any hardware store. Thank you. I don't know where mine is. Oh, there it is. It is very light stuff and does get everywhere.
So what exactly does the lime do?
The lime is the binding agent, the glue to the hempcrete. And the herds are,
The rebar.
yeah, the aggregate, the rebar, the gravel, like you would have in concrete. It makes the structure of it. And the water is the water.
Liquid, right?
So we're then going to sprinkle it on top. Sorry.
Hey, it's okay. I'm on the side.
And we're gonna mix the dry materials together.
High fiber bread.
And add the water. Mix it up real good.
So what's the ratio again? How
So
much hemp?
there's different schools of thought. This one is 4 parts hemp hurd, 1 part water, 1 part lime. I've seen one that was 2 parts hemp hurd, 1.5 water and lime. But most of the information I found, a lot of people were doing this way. You probably add more lime if you're doing more of a structural thing. But with Hempcrete, you're not using it like concrete. You're not putting stuff on top of it. You're like, if you were going to build a Hempcrete house, you would have all your wood framed. It'd be all wood framed, which would be holding the load of the roof and everything, and then you'd infill it. So you'd build forms and stuff the Hempcrete in there. So the Hempcrete is taking no load. It's just creating it's taking the part of the siding, the insulation, and like the inner drywall.
Can it not handle a load, or is that just?
It can't. It should. It's not a structural thing that can handle. It can handle some loads. You can get creative with it, make arches with it, and stuff like that.
You
But
could probably mix concrete in with it to make it strong. Yeah.
So in terms of insulation, do you know what the R factor of the wall made of that is?
I think it's like 25 for a foot. I guess.
Yeah, like
Foot deep.
Is that good for your hands?
Someone asked if that was good for your hands.
Probably not. But I'm only doing a small batch.
Do you usually wear gloves?
I would, yes, and a dust mask.
mine.
And I would have like a concrete mixer to do most of this work.
How long does Hempcrete last?
They say there is a version of Hempcrete in like England or something that's 300 years old. I have not seen
And
it.
how long does concrete last?
Not as long. Concrete, the Hempcrete is more flexible than concrete. The concrete starts to crack and erode. Also with the Hempcrete, you want it covered. It's not meant to be out in the direct rain and weather.
So maybe it's not an even comparison between
Concrete and Hempcrete? No, not at all. Hempcrete's more like adobe or building with straw bale.
Is it like heat resistant? Could you make an oven out of it?
You could insulate it on an oven, but you'd want fire bricks or whatever in between the direct heat source. It's fairly fire resistant. There's not enough oxygen in the Hempcrete to like light the herds on fire. Alright, so I got that pretty mixed up. Okay, and I made a form. It's 8 by 16 by 8 inches. It's about the size of a concrete block. Some people do make blocks out of them and build with them, or you can build a form and stuff it in. So depending on the construction project, you could build blocks and then you build it with a stucco mortar or even a lime mortar. Keep it together. Yeah, put it in there and then you tamp it down.
Have you heard anybody using ash or biochar?
We're not with the hemp as of right now, no. Everyone that I've seen has been using the lime.
Guess I should get a grant and study that.
Is it a lot more lightweight than concrete?
Yes, a lot more lightweight. Yeah. 10 times lighter maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this light will feel, or this block will feel almost too light to build with. And yeah, whatever form you have, you just stuff it in there. And yeah, it doesn't expand too much. So pretty much wherever like if I was gonna make a block, I would just make it up to that level and it would pretty much dry like that. It's not gonna shrink or expand too much.
How long does it take to dry?
Process, I think they say 8 days before you'd want to put on paints or any exterior finish or anything like that. And yeah, I'll take this out of the form tomorrow and put it on a table, carry it around, throw it at y'all, and feel how light it is and strong.
Pretty well prevent reabsorption of water.
Well, you don't want it in the weather. It will repel water just fine, like mist, but it will break down pretty fast. So like most, like adobes or straw bale, cob, you want roof overhangs to keep the direct weather elements off. But, if there's a blowing wind, it's not gonna destroy it. And yeah, if you all want to come and